Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So far, we have talked about RESTful APIs and their key concepts like statelessness and HTTP methods. But what happens when you need to update your API without breaking everything? That's where API versioning comes in. In this video, we will explain why versioning is so important, explore common strategies for versioning APIs, and show you how to implement them in RESTful API. So let's get started. First, let's answer the question about why API versioning is important. Think about it think about the APIs. Think about it like APIs aren't static. Over time, you will want to add a new features, fix bugs, or even make breaking changes. But what about all the apps and users that depend on your current API version? That's where versioning helps. It allows you to manage multiple versions of your API so that old clients can still work while new ones can take advantages of the new features. In order to talk about the strategies for the API versioning, there are several strategies. And let me just make this to live to the left because we need to talk a lot. So there is several strategies for API versioning, and each one has its strength and weaknesses. So let's talk about the first one, which is the URI versioning. The URI versioning, it will be like V1 users or V2 users. So this most common approach where the version number is part of the URL. For example, version 1 slash user could represent the version 1 of your API, and version 2 slash users could represent the version 2. This approach is easy to implement and provides a clear separation between versions. Number 2, there is a query parameter versioning. In this approach, you specify the version as query parameter. For example, you will get, let's make it like that. If we try to take an example, like it would be users, and it will be like users, and we have a query parameters like that. It accesses the version 2. If you want to access the version 2, you will do this one. It keeps your URL structured clean, but might not be as intuitive as URL-based versioning. There is also a header versioning. So the header versioning is passed in the HTTP headers, such as like an XAPI version. I don't know if you know this variable or not, but like something like that. This keeps the URL clean, but versioning is less visible and can be harder to debug. There's also a content negotiation, which is accept header. And this one, with the concept negotiation, the content negotiation, the version is specified in the accept header. Like, for example, to be something like that, applications less md my app version JSON. This allows clients to request different versions of API based on content type, but it's more complex to implement. I highly recommend you to do versioning in action. So you can just make a version. So you in version 1, you can create like your own API and like create a simple CRUD system with 2 versions and test it in Postman and see how it works. But before that, I need to talk about some best practices. So first, you should plan for versioning early. Second, you should deprecate old versions gracefully by giving clients time to migrate, and finally always document your changes clearly, so developers know what to expect from each version. So in today's video, we explored why API versioning is important and looked at several strategies for implementing it. In our next video, we will talk about maybe we talk about some best practices of RESTful APIs. And yeah, if this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And see you next time.